Hi folks, Kellen from Olivine Honey here. This is my second take. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. Well, not sweet. So, in case you've been living under a rock the last 24 hours, it is the 27th of May, 2021. And, of course, we've been dealing with COVID since about February last year. That's when it started making its way to Australia. And we've been told we have to learn to live with COVID, and we're all in this together, and great messages from the government. Fantastic, guys. Absolute fantastic work. We're 18 months in. We've got vaccine rollouts. We had our biggest day of vaccines yesterday on record. And I forget the number, but it was some thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people that were vaccinated. We have tens of thousands of people tested yesterday, and great work. Now you've decided to put us into lockdown for 7 days. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm being sarcastic, guys. Our government is hopeless. How can we learn to live with COVID when the government is locking us down at every moment they get? Look, guys, I'm a sole trader. Alright, I'm the be all and end all for Olivine Honey. I would love to employ somebody. I can't even draw a wage for myself right now. I'm living off New Start. And let me tell you, New Start is not fun. I mean, I'm working full time in my own business. I've got to apply for 8 jobs a month. If I were to declare income and declare my hours the way Centrelink wants, right, they don't care that I'm working in my own business. They won't care until the end of the financial year when I lodge a profit and loss statement to them. They don't care. I can work 40 hours in my own business. It doesn't matter to them because I have not met my requirements. Because if I were to declare that under the system they want, I don't declare that. I only declare that at the end of the financial year. I don't do that. I declare, if I manage to draw any money from the business, on the rare occasions I do, I declare it like I'm an employee of the business. Now, that's not how they want it for sole traders. Well, stuff them. Reality, the way I see it, if they want to argue about it, they can take it to court and they can tell the judge, oh, he didn't declare properly. He's supposed to do it this way. As far as I declared. The income's declared. What's it matter? How does it matter what way it was declared? It was declared fortnightly instead of yearly. What's it matter? By the way, I'm not drawing in income at the moment. I'm maybe on a good week I might draw $100. Might pull $100 from the business just to cover my expenses. Reality is, as a really income, I've put so much money into the business over the last 12 months that it's maybe giving me a little bit back. It's paying me back for what I've put in. Reality is, it's not even doing that. I'll probably over-declare, if anything, how much I pull from the business. Guaranteed, any small business assistance will not include sole traders. If it happens to include sole traders, it's only going to include sole traders that employ somebody. You can see Tiger behind me. I don't employ somebody. I would love to employ somebody. I've got plenty of work that needs doing. During our busy honey season, I would love to have somebody else give me a hand in the business. Reality is, there isn't the money. There isn't the money to do it. I've got insurance. The business has got insurance coming up. We've got to pay for the car rego, otherwise I can't do hive removals. I can't get out to look after my hives. We've got to pay for the car rego. Got no choice. There's no public transport out here. We get 2 buses a week. 2 buses a week in Ellerslie. And that are supposed to stop in Ellerslie. They don't. They don't even pull into the service road where the bus stop is. They drive straight past. But strictly speaking, they're supposed to stop at the service road. They're supposed to stop at the bus stop at the service road. That's where the service road is. So at the very least, they should be pulling in. No, they don't. So we get a bus on Wednesday. We can do a Wednesday shop if we want to. We can catch it in Waterville and do some shopping at Warrnambool. We have a couple of hours. I believe the bus gets in there at 10:30, 11, and then you have to catch the bus back at 2:30, something like that. We get a Friday night bus. 5 o'clock it leaves. Supposed to stop at Ellerslie about 5 o'clock. You got to catch it at 10. Back in Warrnambool. Otherwise, you're stuck there until Wednesday. The following week. That's our public transport system. That's what we have here. We don't have a bus that runs from Warrnambool. We don't have a town bus that runs from Warrnambool to Mortlake. We don't have that service. It doesn't exist out here. We have to have a vehicle. It's as simple as that. I'd love to see you try and take a beehive, even if they are closed up. I'd love to try and take a beehive on a bus. I doubt they'd let you on. Mind you, you can threaten to let the bees out. You know, that might. I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding. I tell you what, if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. Look, we had some people donate some sugar tonight. I put up a post on the Mortlake Facebook page. Thank you guys. I'm going to say your first name. Thank you, Mel. I really appreciate it. Thank you to you and your family. You know who you are. I really do, really do appreciate it. Now, a few people have offered sites to sit some days. Fantastic. I love that. We are always keeping sites in mind, and I will note you down, and I will get on to you. I'll get back to you when I can. You know, whether we move bees out there or not, it depends. It depends on a lot of factors. Right now, the main issue is that we have a number of hives that need supplemental feeding for various reasons. We have a couple of hives dealing with nosoma. We've got 2 colonies that have nosoma virus. They're colonies that we have done removals on, and unfortunately nosoma virus can be hard to diagnose. There's no direct symptoms, at least out when you're assessing them in the field. When you see them every day, you can sort of note some issues that sort of lead to that. But other than that, lab diagnosis is really the only way. So it's generally not spread between hives unless you spread it between equipment, or unless there's robbing going on and that. So we've taken steps to contain that, and obviously anything that comes into contact with those hives is sterilised, and you know, biosecurity measures are all in place and that. So they are getting better, but we continue to feed them supplements and extra feed because obviously we are in the depths of winter. It is a cold, wet winter. We had some lovely days just a few days ago, but it is, for the most part, it is a cold, wet winter. And our girls get out when they can to find food, but obviously most of our some of our hives are not bringing in enough nectar, and so a small colony can go through 2 to 3 kilos of honey a week. It's not bad, you know. They usually have enough. However, you know, if they're only bringing in, you know, to make those 2 to 3 kilos of honey, they need to bring in 7-10 times the amount of nectar. So, you know, you're looking at what, you know, 30, 40, 50 kilos of nectar having to come in to make that little bit of honey. It's a lot of nectar. Bees like working though. They love working. They don't like to be cooped up inside the hive. Believe me. When I have to close my girls up, they are not happy. They just want it. They're at the entranceway wanting to get out. And they want to get out. They want to go out and collect the nectar. They want to get out, stretch their wings. They love to work. Bees do love to work. It's just in their nature. They love to be out there and finding food and that. So even if they've got enough, enough's never enough. And you never know when you need it. So build a big pantry, and that way you get a rainy day and can't collect much nectar. Wow, they've got plenty of food in the pantry. But of course, if they're not replenishing that pantry, then they're going to eat through their reserves pretty quickly. We have a few hives that have not long moved into their hives. We've relocated them. Obviously, they don't have a big pantry built up yet, so they need some extra feed just to help them through these wet periods when they may not be bringing in quite enough to support themselves. So, with our Nosoma virus hives, we mix some Agri-Seed with the sugar supplement. I'm working on stocking this, but I pay $40 for this. That's what I pay, $40. If I were to sell this, I'd have to charge it $60. I can't compete on that. Other places would have it for $40. I would have to charge $60 because that's what I pay. I can't buy huge quantities of stock. For one, I don't have the space, but I don't have the funds either. Folks, thank you for your support. I'm sorry for this rambling, but I just need to put a video out there. Obviously we're in lockdown again. I don't know what more I can do. I can't keep the business running on New Start. We get no extra money because of this lockdown. Any business assistance they have, probably not going to be eligible for it. And it's funny because several weeks ago our government was touting blowing their own horn about how our economy is better off than we thought because they only spent half the money allocated to business assistance last year. That's not a good thing. You only spent half the money allocated to business assistance because you didn't assist businesses. Simple as that. You made it so hard to be eligible for funding that you didn't assist businesses. That's why you didn't spend. That's why you only spent half the funding allocated. There are empty shops everywhere. My mum, I haven't been to Melbourne lately. I haven't been to Melbourne in over 12 months. My mum had to go to Melbourne last week. The amount of empty shops she saw in the CBD of one of our capital cities, and our state government's blowing their own horn because they spent less money on business assistance than they'd planned. Really? I'm sorry to call myself Victorian. And frankly, I'm ashamed to say this, but I'm beginning to feel sorry for calling myself Australian. This is how we treat people. Australian citizens can't even come back. We stop them from coming back from Africa. Australian citizens who have a legal right to enter the country, we tell them, nah, sorry, you can't come. There's too much risk of COVID over there. You can't come. You can't even quarantine. We need a couple of weeks to set up the quarantine station. I'm sorry. We're in the middle of a pandemic that started last February, 15 months ago, and you haven't got a quarantine station set up? What the hell have you been doing? Like I said, I'm sure people are going to disagree with me here. That's great. putting my own perspective out there on, as a business owner, as a sole trader, and as a Victorian, I'm putting my opinion out there. This is what we're going through. This is what I'm going through. I had to put up on my on the local buy, swap and sell site tonight, asking for donations of sugar, because I cannot afford to buy sugar, just 6 kilos of sugar, to feed a couple of my hives that are struggling a bit. I can barely afford to feed myself. I've got maybe $200 left for the next week. I don't get paid again until next Saturday. Not this Saturday coming, next Saturday. Now, we're in lockdown, probably not going to spend much, but I've still got to do some shopping. I've still got to do more shopping. I've got to buy milk, I've got to buy meat. I'm not even eating fancy. I'd love red meat. I'd love to eat more red meat. Can't afford it. It's a dream, maybe to have a nice juicy steak. No? When am I going to be able to buy that? Chicken is my main source of protein right now. It's cheap. And this is how we treat our people. This video is already gone on longer than I thought, but I just want to stress to people that this is what's happening, and honestly, I don't know whether Olivine's honey is going to be running next September. I'll keep these videos coming for as long as we possibly can. I've got more videos in the archive we'll be putting up over the next few days. Like, subscribe to my channel, share this around if you can. We're going to have a GoFundMe page set up. All funds will go into supporting Olivine honey, whether it be buying sugar for our bees, whether it be paying for a tank of fuel to get over to some of our apiaries to inspect our hives, even buying some timber so we can build hives. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, I've been building my own hives for a few years now. The timber I buy has doubled in price. We were paying $7 a linear metre. I'm now paying over 11. It's 2 metre length to make a single bee box. Over $23 I pay for it now. And that's last 12 months. So, yeah. Anyway, there'll be a link in the description below. Probably not immediately, but I'll be getting the GoFundMe page set up. Provide what you can. If you're watching this and you're part of the local area around Ellerslie, Mortlake, Warrnambool, I will be, no doubt, sometime soon asking for more donations of sugar. I really hate to be having to ask for help from the public. You know, I would love to be able to keep the business going myself, but with the government telling me that we can't work, we can't go to markets to sell our honey, we can't even set up a stall on the front lawn to sell our product. There's nothing more we can do. So we can deliver honey. We can deliver honey. That's one thing we can do. So if you want some honey, let me know. We've got some limited amount bottled up. I'll have some. We've got plenty of honeycomb. If you want some packaged honeycomb, we've got plenty of that. It's in the freezer. It's fine. It's fresh. It was frozen immediately after harvest, and it's been in the freezer since. So it stays fresh that way. It stays really fresh that way. And of course we freeze treat it anyway. That way, if there happen to be any wax moth eggs there, they're killed. So not an issue. Not an issue for us, but just the quality of the product, you know. If you leave it sitting in a warm place, the eggs will hatch and they'll eat through the honeycomb, and then you're not going to want to eat it. It's all silted up. You've got worms in it. Yeah, not good. Unlikely to have wax moth in because this winter's too cold anyway, but just to be sure, we do a freeze treatment on it, so just to kill any eggs that happen to be there. Small hive beetle, another case. So yeah. But it's beautiful honey from Bridgar. We will have a limited amount from. I believe I'll have 3 packs from Ellerslie here in Ellerslie. Probably got a bit more out there, but whether I can get into the hives over the next few days to harvest it, it's another question. But we do have a few hives that have not been opened in several months that are way too much to carry. So the hive literally weighs so much that I cannot lift it. So, and I need to move them. I need to move those hives out in the apiary. They're actually in the backyard at the moment. I need to move them out in the apiary, out in the paddock, and yeah, I do need to get in them and reduce the weight, but yeah. Weather dictates that. So unless we have the right weather conditions, we can't do that. So anyway, I'm rambling again. Like, subscribe, go to the GoFundMe page. Give us your support if you can. Look, a lot of people are in the same boat as me, or a similar situation. I hope our government sees sense and gets some business support going. However, based on their history and knowing their history, they're going to neglect sole traders again. They really do. And I just... yeah. Anyway, give your support, share this video, donate what you can. All funds go to keeping Olivine honey running through winter, and hopefully hope we have a good spring. I mean, so far we've had an okay winter. We've got nectar flows still going, and when the bees do get the right conditions, they're out and about collecting as much as they possibly can. So pledge what you can and just help us out. And I'll keep these videos coming for as long as I possibly can. And subscribe too. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. I cannot make any money from the YouTube channel until we get to 1,000 subscribers. So watch the videos, subscribe. Let's get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Let's start bringing some ad revenue in. As much as I hate ads, hey, it helps the business out. So, not yet, but let's get to that 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching.